All right. So as we all know, a lot of health food stores are generational. You know, they're family businesses, probably thousands, I would think. There's probably thousands of health food stores that are generational businesses. You guys are generation, father, daughter, son-in-law, correct? And there's a transition going on at Cambridge Nationals. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we've had the store for 41 years, and for the past 2 or 3 years, we've been discussing and negotiating with my daughter and Caleb, my son-in-law, and to have her and Caleb get involved and eventually take over the business. So it's a way we feel we have a legacy, we feel we're contribute to the community, we earn a living. It's really nice to earn a living doing something we believe in, helping to improve people's lives, and supporting all kinds of community efforts. And this is a way to promote locally owned independent businesses and show that we're not only here today, but we're going to be here for the next several decades.
Cool. How's it going so far?
It's been great.
Yeah?
The first few months that we were back in the business, I felt like I was drinking from a fire hose. You know, there's just kind of endless amounts of information to take in, and there's a steep learning curve. I worked in the business as a teenager and through college, but it had been a while since I was back on the ground. But it's been really fun. I think that the natural products industry is unique in that most companies are very mission-driven, and my generation is full of people who want to be part of mission-driven businesses. And so the opportunity to be involved in a heritage business seems to be something that the natural products industry has a lot of. A lot of second-geners, maybe even third-generation store owners at this point, who are really excited to have the opportunity to work with a heritage business.
So did you guys have a plan going into this? Did you, or did you just wade in? You know what I mean?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yes is the right answer. Less of a plan than we might want, less of a plan definitely than they might want, but an understanding that this is the plan. I mean, this is not like, oh well, we'll see how it works and maybe it'll work out and then we'll do this. This is very intentional. And they both have business backgrounds now from a really cool school, now known as Pinchot University, used to be Bainbridge Graduate Institute. So they know business. They know theory and finance and all the other things that go along with business. But in particular, they're aligned with mission-driven businesses, and they're aligned with the concept of us as a locally owned independent business, keeping it going. And Caleb's working with our managers to really get them to work together better and communicate better, both amongst themselves, to the staff, and with the owners. So it's
So he still likes you?
No, it's working out well.
They go to lunch more than we do.
They get together all the time.
Yeah, it's,
That's good.
Oh,
Well,
where are you
she's at
going?
the
Well,
store.
Going to lunch with your dad, you know. Oh, great. Well, no, it's been really fun. I mean, I think with our background, you know, we have sort of this expertise that we're trying to bring into the store, but obviously recognizing what my parents have built over the last 41 years, which is pretty impressive. I don't know anyone who's done anything for 41 years.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, we're realizing too that a lot of the systems at the store have been all part of the historical memory of the business. So we're also trying to get a lot of that documented now so that we can carry it forward in the same way without watering down any of the way that we do things or our mission in general.
Well, it sounds like a very smart best practice. It sounds like what you're doing is learning how they do it now,
Right.
you know, and not trying to change everything.
Right.
That, you know, do you have any other advice for people that might be? Well, you're early into it, right? It's only been several months, right?
Yeah.
6 months or so.
6 months.
6
yeah.
months.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you again in 2 years, and we'll hear the lesson. But
See if they've moved on at all. Yeah.
I mean, well, that's a good question. I mean, do you have set deadlines?
No.
Okay.
No, we have.
Does that scare the heck
The
out of you?
deadlines
Or?
keep coming. It's funny actually. They keep coming sooner than they.
Oh,
were
really?
before.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
the opposite of what I read.
I know. Well,
On one day last year, someone came to me and asked me that question, and I said, well, I'm thinking 2 years. And my wife, who's as deeply involved in the business as I am, said, well, I'm thinking 10 years.
I think this was at our wedding.
Was
Yeah.
it? Oh, at the wedding? Oh,
It's a
right.
negotiation.
And now Elizabeth, my wife, who you know, and her mother and his mother-in-law, she's ready to move more quickly.
Yeah.
And we're not
Well, it's a trust thing too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a trust thing.
Yeah, we're learning that.
This is another baby.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, it's the fourth child in
Yeah.
our family.
Right.
It gets all the attention.
Yeah, I would say bring up as much intentionality as you can to it.
Yeah.
Even if even if we mess up, even if it's not the perfect choice, but if you bring that intentionality of wanting to create something really special and make it really great for everyone, I think that could go a long way.
Well, and I think as founders, the one thing that they've done really well is allow me to make my own mistakes and kind of encourage me to go make some mistakes. You know, obviously they're gonna make sure I don't do anything major that will affect our bottom line dramatically. But I am able to be creative and try out things. We have a fantastic staff. We have, I think, the best staff maybe we've ever had. And so when I came in, it was really important to me to ingratiate myself, come in as kind of a novice and not pretend that I knew more than I did. And that was really helpful. I think I've tried to build a really strong relationship with them because our staff is the heart of our store. They're on the ground. They're talking to our customers all day long, and they're as integral to our store as any other part of the business.
That's great advice. Yeah. Okay, so let's assume I'm 68 years old. I've been running a store for 30 years.
You look so good for 68.
Thank you. I've got my 30-year-old, son who just got, wants to leave the stockbroker business and come in. What do you tell me as that owner? What's your advice to me, given where you're at right now?
Right. I would say, first of all, be clear that in this case, this imaginary son who wants to come into the business actually is deeply interested, knows business. I mean, Brady's a stockbroker. I don't want to put anyone down, but that's way different than a business that you're running on your own, where you're dealing with a lot of different aspects of that. You can't even imagine how many details there are and how many little fires there are. And on the floor of the store, we have to be really clear that there are no fires. In the back room, sometimes there's turmoil and chaos and deliveries not showing up and people calling in sick just when we need them and a customer complaining and all this other stuff. But we try to manage the store with great theater, with great enthusiasm, with great customer service, never letting any of that stuff get in the way.
So what I heard was make sure they've got a heart and a passion for the business. And make sure they're fully aware of what they're getting into. That's kind of what I heard, right?
And I think that's what they're going through now.
Right.
I mean, as Emily, I was quoted in the Trade Journal saying something like, "I'm sure Emily will do things that I know are wrong, and they will turn out to be wrong. But I'm also sure she will do things that I know or that we know are wrong, and they will turn out to be right." And we have to step back from those. And as she said, there are going to be mistakes. In fact, to a certain extent, we encourage mistakes in our store. We encourage a lot of ownership of decisions from staff about what things they bring in.
As fast as possible.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right. Fail fast.
Exactly.
And, often, but hopefully not too often.
Right.
So, okay, so your turn. What would be your advice to the 30-year-old? And let's just assume for a minute that I've got a heart for this and I'm passionate about it, and there's a fit there. But what advice would you give to me getting ready to do this with my dad?
I mean, have a passion for it. I mean, if you're going to do this day in, day out, you better love it because it's not easy work. And certainly, there's the what we do in the store, and then there's everything else behind the scenes. That's my mother always talks about, spending hours on the phone with insurance agents and licensing and taxes and all of the things that go into running a business that are nothing to do with just providing products for your customers. And so you have to also be interested in that aspect of it, or at least be savvy enough to hire someone who is. And have a good partner. I mean, if he or she is not as involved, even have them sort of at least interested in the business, because you're going to be there a lot of late nights.
What's the right mindset to bring to it?
Patience.
Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
Like healthy curiosity. Like you said, make sure that you're kind of coming across as a novice, not in charge. It'd be very easy for someone to kind of assume the leadership role because it's being handed to them versus coming in with some humility, which I think that's brilliant.
I mean, humility I think is key. And to promote our business school, again, we one of the main components of the degree program, the MBA, is the Leadership and Personal Development track. And that was life-changing, I think, for both of us. That's how Caleb started his whole business. And just being aware of yourself and aware of your environment and then aware of others and how you're interacting with all of those things is really important, I think, to being a business owner. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Any last bits of advice?
It can be really fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Have fun.
There's a lot of fun.
It's really important to have fun.
Even,
Yeah.
we've had our challenges and there will be discussions and all kinds of issues, but we've been able to maintain that fun aspect and really enjoy of working together.
Awesome. It's going to be special for many years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's set a date.
Okay.
Expo West 2017.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it's
That
going.
means you have to come.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, why don't we
Yeah.
shake on it?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good.